Hey guys, Destiny Dragon God here with some more Destiny with Jordan and Cheeky again. So, yeah, we're about to do the Nexus strike. If you see here on the map, we could do that or 3 other options. And I didn't get to show it. How wonderful.
Yay. What? Okay.
Go ahead, doesn't matter. But yeah, we should actually get blue gear from this, so you're gonna actually see us start to get a better tier of weapons and armor, hopefully. Not the stuff that
right
I
now
have over, but.
You know, if I was using my hunter, I could like do this mission in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you probably could.
Far below the
Not the point.
Well, you know what?
You gotta feel like you did it, boy.
Whoa. I think now everyone knows. Well, at least your viewers know who you really are now.
What do you mean who I really am?
Oh, we know.
Listen. I only like women. I'm sorry, men out there that were thinking about it. No. I don't swing that way.
You just disappointed one of your loyal viewers out there.
That's disgusting to think about, but no. And also, I have nothing against gay people or anything like that. Or some person in the comment section below says something about it. No. I know a lot of people that are gay. In fact, I have people in my family
against the LGBT community. Jordan, you should probably like post a comment in one of the videos, just a random video, being like you're offensive to gay people and stuff.
Oh my god.
No, like,
please don't. I don't want to see. Because what's gonna happen is that if there are people that like really love the content and stuff, they're just gonna hate on you so much.
That's the point.
It's gonna be like a huge freaking, and I don't want to be that way. It's just gonna be.
I used to love you, but now I hate you because of what you said about my people.
What do you mean your people? You'll swing that way.
Let me finish this mission. I'm talking about that's the comment I don't gotta put.
Is that before or after everybody notices that Jordan is commenting on his own on a video he
That's gonna be after I switch my accounts to my other account, I can post as a random person. Wow.
By the way, I'd like everyone to know this is being recorded right now, so
yeah, I don't care. You'll find
yeah, I don't care. Everyone knows. He just admitted to doing the crime, everybody.
Look, if anybody has anything to say to me in the comments, they will be
literally caught his hands in the cookie jar.
Anybody says anything to me in the comments, they will be controlled. He's probably hoping that people are going to forget by the time he does it.
Yeah, they probably will.
I mean, if they watch the video, then they might comment right after, but...
Most people actually comment before watching the video, or just watch something and are like, oh, I must comment on this immediately without even clarifying if it's continually happening.
Can I go into all of your videos that don't have a comment yet and just type in first comment?
Please do it, because then you'll just get a lot of people just mad. But... I don't like
when people do that.
First comment, first.
This is how every comment works. First comment, second and third commenters actually comment something useful or pertinent to the video, and then the fourth guy makes a whole big deal about how he's first because he didn't see like those second, third, and first comments. He's like, I'm first, guys, I'm first, and he's like making a whole big deal about it, and he's actually like the fourth.
That's someone like the channel should get like a ton of views. Generally because they can comment before anybody sees it.
So basically not AK's channel? I'm not saying that, I'm just saying like, as of right now, it's not the biggest channel in the world. I'm talking about like Yascast level where everyone is like your fanboy.
Okay. What about it?
I'm just saying that's where it usually happens. Like the first comment, yeah. That kind of stuff.
Okay, where did the need to become the first commenter come from? It's not like a big thing. You don't get a reward for being the first person to comment on a
video. Being human and requiring always to be first or the best at something.
Well, you know what happens to the first person that does something, right?
It means you're the first one to write some probably impertinent thing to the video because you said no one will care about.
Let's put it this way: if you're the first person to write someone. You are also known as the first person that learned how to do something very badly most of the time, and ended up getting effed up. So, yeah. With all those people that love to be first, remember. Sometimes
Most people don't realize that
it's
until after the fact, though.
Be first all you want, trust me. None of us are going to be fighting for that spot.
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Too bad, I did it first. 7 orbs. Orb
next time you need to be
everybody.
rezzed, next time you need to be rezzed, I'm gonna teabag your body.
Feel me? Why?
Yep.
I'll watch him laugh.
That's just messed up. Come on. Don't watch and laugh.
You better hope Cheeky revives you.
I mean, is that before or after the 30 seconds is up and he's done laughing? Because by then I'll just respawn. Oh wait, yeah, I don't think I can respawn, can I? No, yeah, I can.
You can, but it's gonna be.
I keep forgetting this isn't like hardcore where like you can never respawn.
Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll start reviving you, get close, let go of the square button, and keep doing that.
That's a big move, bro.
Or would you rather I just stand there and watch?
You know what the reality is, right? I'm not gonna die unless I get killed by the game. The architects are gonna have to kill me, but...
Oh no, you're probably gonna die against the boss.
Who cares? We'll have fun laughing.
Yeah, I think I'll live through the Nexus. I'm fine with it. Probably
how are we doing it? Are we jumping down or are we staying on top?
I don't have a sniper, so I can't really...
Nor do I.
Then get close. We'll cover you.
No going back. Can't retreat. Can't back down.
Ooh, wait,
can't get
I
in.
got this.
Made it.
I missed it.
Ah, dang, I missed my grenade. Come here, Mr. Minotaur. I've got something up my sleeve for you.
Oh.
We got more of these guys coming through.
Hey, so I've got a question for you.
Okay.
And it's a from YouTube question.
Okay.
If you could have $10 million, but the catch is there's a snail following you.
Oh my
and it wants
god.
to assassinate you, right?
I've heard this question before, and I'm trying to remember
can
the
only
video.
kill you if it touches you. So the snail will automatically assassinate you if it touches you, but you get $10 million, but it follows you for the rest of your life. Would you take the $10 million?
The answer to that question is most likely going to be yes, because most likely I'll have something as countermeasures to keep preventing the snail from getting near me, i.e. moving away every so often. It's an effing snail, it's not a fighter jet. If it's a fighter jet, I'd be a little bit more worried because I'd be always worried about something flying over my head and like sudden death killing me. But it's an effing snail.
As well as if it's a snail, I can kind of just like get something around myself that prevents it from killing me.
Yeah, but as soon as it touches you, you die.
Yeah, but like if I just get a glass bubble.
Just don't let it touch you. Just get away from it. It's not that difficult.
Wait. If I put a bullet in its head.
No, it's immortal.
It's an immortal snail. I've heard this before. It's an immortal snail.
It's
the
an
only
immortal
thing you can do is just avoid it. And all you need to do is just put blocks around it. You can keep it in a box for all you care.
You sure about that?
Yeah, it's not like you can't. It didn't say you can't do that. You just can't kill it, which isn't that difficult.
Wouldn't that
You
break
don't have
down
to
the
kill
box?
anything. Just keep it in a box or something.
Yeah, unless it was metal,
Obvious answer
wouldn't
is
it break
yes.
down
I
the
would
box?
take the $10 million because there are multiple
The answer is yes, because there are multiple ways to avoid getting killed by it.
What about when you're asleep?
I said keep it in a goddamn box. I'm not gonna keep it in a freaking envelope and or keep it on top of my desk and let it kill me. No, put it in a box and forget about it. It's done.
Are you sure?
Yeah, or
that box is not.
does it have like laser eyes?
No, it's just a regular.
It's just a normal freaking snail. It's not like it's gonna get out.
So basically, I can just put it in like a glass cup.
Pretty much. Put it in a cup and just let it sit there for the rest of eternity while you have your $10 million. It's not that difficult. Also, the question is, once you spend all $10 million of those dollars, or the ones that just came in the envelope, because if you earn any more, I'm guessing it doesn't count. As long as you spend that $10 million that you initially got, does that snail just never have that power anymore and you just are fine?
Oh, that's true.
Because at that point, it wouldn't be technically the same money. You already spent it, so it doesn't matter. Unless it just had to be like, as long as you just spend $10 million, doesn't matter where, you're fine. Because then that could be easy. I could do a lot of things with $10 million, still like end up earning some money back that I wouldn't have to worry about the damn snail anymore, and then you can stop festering about it.
Alright, another question.
Okay.
This is gonna get into real world issues and stuff.
Such as?
How do you feel about the Ferguson case?
Okay. Okay.
The moment he said Ferguson case, I knew what was gonna happen.
Like, yeah, you should have known, suspected what I was gonna like say. I don't wanna. Okay.
Well, yeah, dude.
Before we say anything on this case, everybody listen to me. Comment section and everything. This is not like a political thing. Please don't turn it into that.
No, these are just personal opinions.
Personal opinions. I don't mind if you express them. Just everyone, be respectful of everyone's personal opinions. To a point, I know it's going to be difficult. Some opinions you might say that's BS. I agree, but you must
respect everyone else.
There are some other opinions on the case.
Because you would want them to respect your opinion, so respect theirs.
Anyway, okay, now it's time for us to give our opinions and stop BSing around the subject. Okay, so my opinions on the Ferguson case. I believe that they, for one, should have taken it to trial, and two, that he should have been found guilty. However, I must say this, however, the reason why I'm not making a huge fuss about it is because of this. What is it? Because the people in that town rioted, it became such like a huge issue that everyone began to notice it, like black communities and other things like that, or African American communities, were really being put in dispositions. And that was just like one of it. It wasn't like that was the only one. I would not like people to think this. That's not like the worst, not like the worst case I should say. It's not the only case. There's other cases like this all over the place. Jordan could probably tell you a lot of them. He lives in Detroit.
Oh, well, yeah. But we're not going to get into that right now.
We're not going to get into that. But let's just say this. It happens a lot everywhere, and that's the problem. It happens a lot.
I'm lucky. I live in Canada.
But still, racism is a big issue still. It happens in America a lot more than it should, but still.
For sure, racism is big everywhere.
Yeah, but it's a huge issue here because we're home of the free and the brave, and really it doesn't show. You know what I mean?
Because,
you would think that you would pass
I have a question for you two.
Okay.
Are you guys Republicans or Democrats?
I'm an independent.
Independent.
I do not side with either.
Okay, good. Because that's better than being Republican.
I'm not a Republican. I'm probably more, I guess you'd say, liberal, but I'm definitely not a Republican.
Okay, good.
And this is the thing about Republicans. All right, I want people to understand this. This is factual, by the way. This is not like a personal preference or anything else like this. The reason why most people that are not like rich and stuff pick Republican candidates is because of this. They see someone else doing things like that, and oh, there's heavy ammo. Okay. Sorry.
They see someone else doing that, and oh, there's heavy ammo.
Yes, I know. It almost fell off the edge. Okay, it was important to me. But anyway, no. About Republican candidacy. Okay, so most people see people in that disposition, or not disposition, but that position, and they're like, oh, well, I wouldn't want, my money to be taken away like that, so I'm just going to vote vote for yes for the Republicans. But, I'm not in that, circumstance where I have all that money, nor am I probably going to ever be in that circumstance. That's what people tend to forget. Generally, people like that have been in that way for, I would say, over many, many years. They've been in
they're
rich
born
families,
into it,
so to speak. And the reason, and I'm not going to say, like, they launder their money or anything like that. I will say this, though. You're not going to, generally when you think about America, most people think, oh, it's always free, everything, is...
Oh, that's funny.
No,
exactly.
Everything is like, people like to say everything is fair. It's not fair. The sad thing is, for a place that's supposed to be built on fairness, it is really not. Skewed horribly, judicially, economically, there's a lot of problems that we shouldn't really have, nor do we really need to have. But it mainly has to do with a lot of people being greedy. But hey, it's time. I think it's sort of like our generation needs to start stepping up and trust me.
Technically, it's the free market, but you know, whatever.
But I mean, the biggest issue is that the people don't, like, they see that people are in that position, and they're like, they think of themselves, right? And they're like, I wouldn't want to be taken out of that position if I had all that money. But they don't realize that they're never going to get that much money, or two, that, you know, they're still screwing me, but I just don't want that to happen to me, so of course I'm going to do that. But the problem is this, people. When you think that way, you're not going to be in that position. So you shouldn't think that way.
You know, since I'm on, you know, like the debate team and everything, we have, you know, different cases and everything. One of the biggest things people run is like capitalism, and that how it's like, you know, all bad. And
no. I want to actually interesting thing about capitalism. Capitalism and communism. Actually, in my opinion, they both are broken. They don't work.
Yeah, so
to me, socialism is the closest step to something good. I just think there's some things in capitalism to take from. I'm not saying now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a commie or blah 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 like that if people want to start saying it, no. I just don't think capitalism works, and one, it just shows on how our economic system's so effed up right now.
I think capitalism overall is a good idea. There's just a few things that need to be tweaked about it, such as the free market and such.
Yeah. I love how we turned Destiny into a political thing, or whatever. Hey, it's interesting topics. They're very interesting topics, at least to us. Okay, I'm gonna make you guys. But no, personally, I don't think that. I think capitalism needs to be edited to a degree. Also, I think that our our Constitution needs to be updated.
I like how we went from Ferguson to capitalism.
Well, I mean, they all relate to each other because they're all a standing problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And they all, like, what I mean by they all relate to each other, one of them causes, like, can cause the other, if you know what I mean. Or can stem from
one of them is caused by the other.
Yeah.
Also, I have something to say about the Ferguson case.
Okay.
You know how they, like, the riots and stuff, how they were, you know, like, messing up their own neighborhoods and stuff?
Yeah.
That's really also the root, a piece of the problem, basically. Why would you mess up your own neighborhoods and tear down your own places of business and your own economic areas?
Yeah.
That just makes no sense when you're just because you're mad about something.
Well, the thing is, and you gotta understand this about riots and things. When people are mad, they're mad and they're just gonna throw. I'm not being like trying to be rude, but they're just gonna throw a fit until the problem gets fixed.
Yeah, because it's mob mentality.
Yeah. You can see that everywhere. But the problem is they're not thinking about what's happening next. They're thinking about, I'm mad about this. And I mean, they could be mad about the right things, but they just don't know how to react with that anger. Yeah. Directed anger and being enraged is two complete things. Directed anger can be a good thing.
Yep.
Because you know what you're doing and you're not, losing your mind. Rage is a different story. You're just, like, lashing out at whatever. And that's when you hurt the things that are closest to you.
Just like the forums of this game. Sometimes there's actually good, smart people posting things. And then most of the time you have idiots who are just blabbering on about crap they don't even know about.
Yep. So, yeah, swinging back to this game, I guess we can say about the forums.
Oh man.
Especially about this game. So, like, most of you probably know my views on this game already by now. I like the game. From 2 years ago, I liked the game a lot more. But I still believe, like, it can become something good. Like, where it is right now, I'm not going to say it's horrible, but I definitely feel like it needs to be better.
I'll go get Cheeky.
Alright. Like, I feel like it needs to be a step above where it is right now. You need me to get? I got the thing.
What?
I'm talking about the Nexus. I got him. But no, yeah. All I see about this game generally is just hate on it, And I understand why people are mad. Generally, I really do, guys. I understand why you guys are mad. This game had a lot of hype living up to it. It had a lot of people wanting it to be... I'm not going to say the COD killer or anything like that. People wanting it to be something new, something special. And it just... companies just came through and effed it up. Like, I don't know, they didn't even think about their fan base or what. It's just... people were, like, literally hoping this game was going to change the industry, and it seemed like it was, and then it just fell.
I guess it technically did, but...
It did, but it didn't in the way that we all expected it to, nor was it the way that they told us it was going to. Like, how should I put this? The game is not bad, that's not what we're trying to get to. The game is not bad, but it's definitely not done. You know what I mean?
Oh, but yeah, you can tell that.
Like, you can stem it from the broken economy. Actually, there is no economy system, but the broken, I guess you could say broken economy. Like, and the fact that, like, developers were quoted in saying things that didn't make it to the game, and it just seemed like they were in the alpha builds and people were showing them off, and they were showing it off in reveal trailers, and it's just not in the game.
Just, like, my number one gripe is Crow.
Yeah, that was probably
now,
the biggest regret.
He's like the freaking Queen's brother and stuff. We already knew that.
But I mean, he's just not that big of a character.
They just call him the Queen's brother. Like, what happened to the whole thing of you being kidnapped by him and then him asking you to help him and all that kind of stuff? What happened to all that?
And I'm not saying the new story is bad, because obviously the story's changed. I'm gonna die here, by the way. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Never mind. Oh, yep, I died. Hobgoblins got me. No, but... I'm not saying that I hate the new story. I actually like it. I just don't think... If you read the Grimoire cards, I love it. But it's just not explained... Like I said, it's not explained well. They don't tell you anything really interesting in this game. They kind of just say, go to point A, go to point B. And that's what I liked about the Dark Below DLC, was it was literally just kind of non-stop action. There was no more BS, go to point A to point B. You knew what you were doing, and it wasn't because, like...
I'm down.
Your ghost said, oh, we're going to hold this position. No, it was like you knew what you were doing. Like, you knew what you wanted to do.
I'm also down, so okay, better not go down.
I'm not going to. Give me a second.
Oh, it's like very determined and
Dang
stuff.
it, hobgoblins. I'm going to get you, Jordan, but yeah.
Alright.
So, and people, when they ask us, what do we mean by things that aren't finished? So, because I've heard that asked to me before. They say, like, they hear me say it's not done, and they say, no, it's not done.
There's a laundry list of those.
I mean, to give an example of things like that were lied to or promised that weren't there, and how you can tell it's not done. Well, they wanted to say, especially with the DLC. So the DLC was this big controversy over whether or not it was in the game, why it was in the game pre-release or release in the game. Actually, technically pre-release, because in the alpha and beta build, people found the Seraphim Vault and places like that were completely built up like they are now, then just weren't populated with enemies. And that was the problem. Basically, everyone found all these DLC areas, but Bungie and Activision's excuse was that it wasn't populated. That they weren't done yet, basically. They didn't say they weren't populated with enemies, they just said they weren't done. Now, was that BS, or were they, like, you know, genuine? I would have wished to be on the side of saying it was genuine. But we personally went into some of these areas just to check to see how they were. I mean, because I guess seeing a video and actually looking at it are two different things. Or, like, you know, looking at it personally. But we looked at this thing, and might I say, it's done. I don't know what they were talking about. That is done. That is what you call a finished DLC.
Now, also, last time we were talking about this, my father brought up the fact that most games, or most game publishers, do actually ship part of the DLC on the disc, but then they send the rest of the finished part on the disc. Now, I could see that as a valid point, but considering the actual, like,
but the
actually going into the areas
that
and
looking
at these areas personally, it's different considering that all they needed to do was populate it with a couple of enemies.
Because yeah, Jordan, I have to say, I would have believed that had the DLC launched and it was something changed. It's literally the exact same thing.
Exactly.
And it just needs to be. It just got populated by enemies, and that's the difference. Because when they said it wasn't finished, and when your dad brought that point, I was like, okay, maybe I have a, maybe we should just wait and see. Because inevitably we didn't know until the DLC launched if they were going to change something. Because we could have just been looking at an alpha build and they just didn't change it yet. But you could tell when you downloaded the DLC how small the DLC thing was. And how small it was, and like, you just knew. They didn't do anything to it except populate with enemies. Because if they did do something more to it, you would have been able, it would have reflected in the download. It was only like, it was less than a meg, wasn't it?
No, well, technically the first one was 5 megabytes, and then the second part of it was like a couple kilobytes.
Because it was not that much. If you wanted to add in a whole bunch of stuff and say a DLC, like, like you should have, it would have been like a gig of stuff.
And haunt the realms where they gather.
If not more. Maybe like a gig and a half. Because it just fitting new maps and other stuff into this game would have just taken that much. But they didn't. It was only that small of a thing, which kind of makes you think, okay, something doesn't add up here. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I pretty much say in the truest sense of the word, people, they effed us. I think it's pretty obvious by now that that's what happened.
They took us behind the dumpster and did the dirty.
Pretty much. I mean, they didn't even, and the fact is, they didn't even hide it. The dumpster was hollow, there was a huge hole in it, and everybody was watching with cameras.
And they used a big speaker.
So you could hear everything, so yeah. Just if you know the image we're painting here, we pretty much just got publicly raped. Yep, that's...
And everyone accepted it and said, it's okay.
Yeah. The other thing was that everyone kind of accepts it, and that's sad. We didn't put our foot down. And I'm not saying Bungie is at fault for all of this, because I don't really think they were at fault for all of this, because it doesn't seem like something Bungie would really do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's something I know personally Activision would do.
Oh, that was nasty. Little boys at Activision.
Oh my god, yeah. Freaking Activision. That's why I don't play Call of Duty that much, or any Call of Duty game for that matter. It's just Activision, I can't stand them sometimes. But yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you watch this game from like, I don't know, maybe this summer, you would have not been expecting as much. But for people like me and Jordan, and I don't know if Cheeky did, but they followed this game before alpha, beta, pretty much like 2 years ago pre-release. I know I've been following it for a long time. You would have known how much stuff was just gone. Like, what happened to Mumbai Push, Old Chicago, the Eastern Flood Zone, Wormhole on the Moon, places like that. The freaking, what happened to the Reef? But yeah, it's just all these places.
Checking.
So yeah, we're gonna go collect our reward.
That reward though.
And after that, we're gonna call this episode quits.
Yep.
So.
And I think I'm gonna call it a night.
Alright. So I had the choice between getting a bond or some armor. Duh, I want the bond.
Don't put too much.
Hey, I'm gonna take the bond.
I just got a bounty to kill Sectron.
None of this armor
Did you really?
is better than any other armor I have equipped. So I'm gonna take the bond.
Honestly,
yeah.
That's another topic in itself. Why do they have class items? They don't offer anything to you.
Some do.
I've not seen a class item yet in this game that actually offers a bonus of some sort.
Well, the future war cult things give you points towards that. If that counts for
That's
anything.
the only thing. That can't count, Jordan. That can't count. It doesn't give you anything that changes your playstyle. It doesn't give you intellect. It doesn't give you anything like that.
It makes you feel special.
Jordan, feeling special and being special are two different things.
I don't think you want to be special. I'd rather feel special than be special.
You don't want to be special.
So basically, you want to be a special needs child.
A special what?
A special needs child.
No. Special in my type of mind is not the same as your type of special, apparently.
Oh, my type of special is the special that hurts people's feelings.
That's a rather weird thought, but okay.
Don't touch me.
Okay, anyway. That's the end of the episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Say goodbye to everybody, guys.
Peace out, fools.
Yeah. We'll catch you in the next episode. See ya.